Anybody watching on TV, Facebook, let me know if you can hear and see everything okay.
School as we get set for another night of Mid-Continent League basketball tournament coverage. Tonight we're on the backside of the bracket and we are in the high school gym where the boys take the court. The girls will be over in the grade school gym as we take a look at what's here tonight. Let's see, today in the grade school gym, the first game up will be the Stockton Lady Tigers taking on the Hill City Lady Ringnecks. The second game of the day over in the grade school gym will be TMP against Ellis, and the final game of the day will be Oakley against Norton. That's the girls' action here from the Mid-Continent League Basketball Tournament. For the boys, we're here. First game of the day features the Stockton Tigers against the Smith Center Redmen. The second game of the day will have Hoxie against Norton, and we'll also have the third game of the evening for you, where Plainville takes on Trigos. So that's a look at what's to come here at the Mid-Continent League Basketball Tournament here in Stockton today. First up again, Smith Center takes on Stockton. Smith Center coming off of a win Tuesday night against Oakley in Norton, their neutral site game. Smith Center won that ball game 48-32. That's what it is. I can hear myself. And then Stockton lost a close one to Phillipsburg in the play-in games, 51-50. Ty Sides hit a three to tie things up at 50, and then Jeremy Ford hit the free throw to put them up 51-50. Phillipsburg held on to win, so they moved on. Stockton fell to these feather bracket games, and again, this is their first game of the three. So Stockton gets set to take on Smith Center here at Stockton. As we're going to take a timeout for the national anthem, we'll be back with the opening tip-off and starting lineups. As we get set, the Redmen head coach by Rob Buckmaster, the Tigers head coach by Kyle Fox. As we get set here for this matchup again, the Smith Center Redmen come into this one now 3-7 on the year after their win over Oakley the other night, and Norton in that neutral site game. And the Stockton Tigers come in 4-6 on the year after their loss to Phillipsburg in the play-in games on Saturday. Montgomery wins the tip for the Redmen. They go left to right on your radio dial here to start the ball game. Trenton Colby has it down to the left corner. Dribbles back out front to Hendrich. Hendrich swings around to Montgomery, top of the key. Montgomery inside for long, tipped out by Means, picked up by Montgomery. Montgomery down to the left block, bounce pass into the paint for Hendrich. Hendrich puts up the shot, no good, rebounded by Ethan Means. Means right to left across the timeline. 7.5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Drives all the way in, loses the handle on it. Fighting for the basketball. Stockton still with it. They get it out front to Hull. Now around to Rogers right wing. Rogers down to Means right corner. Means out front to Miller. Miller hit 4 3-pointers against Phillipsburg on Saturday. He swings it around to Hull left wing. Out front to Means. Means works against Aiden Long on the dribble. Ethan Means kicks it back around to Ben Rogers. Down to the right corner to Trevor Miller. Miller back out front to Means. Means drives inside. Once again, right block, quadruple team. Kicks it back out to Miller. Miller back around to Ben Rogers right wing. Rogers on the dribble. Under 7 minutes left to go. He'll stop and pop for 3. No good. Off to the right. Rebounded by Hendrich. Hendrich hands it off to Trenton Colby, and Colby brings it back up the court. 6:45 left to go in the first quarter. We're scoreless here in this ball game. And Trenton Colby going to get called for the travel. So ball goes right back to the hands of Stockton. And looking for our first points in this one. Here between Stockton and Smith Center, the feather bracket game of the Mid-Continent League Basketball Tournament. These two teams both lost on Saturday in the play-in games. Ben Rogers has it out front for Stockton. Kicks it down to the right corner to Miller. Miller out, looking. Guarded tightly by Hendrich. Now out front to Rogers. Rogers back down to the right corner to Miller. Miller out front to Means. Ethan Means. Deep 3 on its way. Left it short. No good. Rebound goes out of bounds. Last touched by, Ethan Means. And it will be Smith Center basketball. 6:16 left to go in the first quarter. 0-0 is our score. Looking for point number 1 in this one as Smith Center has the basketball as Joel Montgomery inbounds to Trenton Colby. Colby brings it up left to right. Ahead to Long left wing. Long looking. Goes out front between the circles to Hendrich. Hendrich guarded by Trevor Miller. Loses the handle on it, and it's stolen away by Jace Hull. Hull on the fast break. Left block off the glass and good. So Jace Hull gets the first points of the ball game, makes it 2-0. 5:50 left to go in the first quarter. Griffin Kugler heads to the scorer's table for the Smith Center Redmen. Trenton Colby has it all the way down to the baseline. Step back jumpers, good. Trenton Colby answers. And we're tied at 2 apiece with 5:40 left to go in the first quarter. Ethan Means brings it back up the court for Stockton. He's between the circles, working against Aiden Long, down to Miller, and out front to Rogers. Rogers spots up for 3 again. Again, no good. This time off the back of the iron, fighting for the rebound. And let's see. They're going to say foul on the Stockton Tigers. Their first team foul, and the first on Jace Hull. Nate Hendrich takes his seat. Griffin Kugler comes in the ball game for the Redmen. 5:26 left to go in the first quarter. We're tied at 2 apiece here between Smith Center and Stockton. Again, feather bracket games. These two teams again losing in the play-in games on Saturday. So this will be Smith Center's last game of the tournament. Stockton will play on Saturday. Trevor Miller came away at the steal and then turns it back over to Griffin Kugler. Redmen have it the right wing with Kugler. They get it inside for Lehman at the right block to the free throw line. Tipped into the hands of Montgomery. Joel has it out front on the dribble. Hands it back off Trenton Colby. Thought about the spike line 3. Instead dribbles down left wing. Jumpers on his way. Left it short. Misses everything. Out of bounds it goes. And it will be Stockton basketball. 4:57 left to go in the first quarter. 2-2 is our score here between Smith Center and Stockton. And Stockton High School MCL basketball tournament action. Boys here in the high school. Girls over in the grade school right now. Ben Rogers has the left wing for Stockton. Down to the left corner to Miller. Now to Means left wing. Means drives in. Left block off the glass and good. Makes it 4-2 with 4:35 left to go in the first quarter. Stockton now leads by 2 over Smith Center as Joel Montgomery has it between the circles. Now to Trenton Colby. Colby on the dribble. Drives inside. Jumpers up. Left it short. No good. Rebounded by Trevor Miller. Miller. And brings it right to left on your radio dial across the timeline. Down to the right wing to Ethan Means. Means works against Aiden Long out front to Ben Rogers. Rogers down to the right wing. Now to Means. Means back inside for Rogers. Down to the right block. And he's going to get called for the charge. Lowered his shoulder. Gets called for his first personal foul. Second Tigers team foul. Quinn Coffey, Troy Rogers, and Josh Coleman all getting set to come into the ball game for the Stockton Tigers. They come in. Let's see. Gage Cognac takes a seat. Ben Rogers takes a seat. Also, Jace Hull takes a seat. 4:07 left to go in the first quarter. Stockton leads Smith Center by 2, 4-2. Trenton Colby brings the ball up the court for Smith Center across half court with 4 minutes left to go. Lehman has it. Down to the left wing to Montgomery. Montgomery looking, letting the offense set up, finds Kugler. Kugler splits the defense off the glass and good! As Kugler had to split the defense, kind of got the circus shot to fall, and ties things up at 4 as Trenton Colby comes away with the steal. His layup is up, and it rolls around and no good, as Trenton Colby couldn't get that one to fall. And now a foul going to be called here on the Redmen, their first team foul. See who they call this one on. There's a couple Redmen there. It is on Trenton Colby, his first. So, Trenton a little cold right now from the field. He hit that first basket, but since then he's missed a couple. We'll be sure that he'll keep shooting, get those shots to fall for him throughout the rest of the game. But right now, we're tied at 4 with 3:25 left to go in the first quarter. Stockton basketball. Trevor Miller has it. Out front to Ethan Means. Means guarded now by Joel Montgomery. Means down to the left wing, out front to Troy Rogers. Rogers puts up the deep 3 off the back of the iron, no good. Fighting for the rebound, Means put back up, no good. And then Trenton Colby comes down with the rebound for the Redmen. 3:07 left to play in the first quarter. Fouls on Josh Coleman, his first personal foul, third Stockton team foul. So both teams a little cold from the field to start this ball game. Ethan Means missed a short jumper there as well. So we'll see how things go throughout the rest of the game for both teams. As Aiden Long turnaround jumper in the paint is no good. It's off and rebounded by Troy Rogers. Rogers hands off to Ethan Means. Means back out front to Rogers. Rogers down to the top of the key, the right side to Miller. Miller inside for Means. Means kicks it back out. Coleman, right corner, 3's on its way. No good. It rolls out. Tipped out by Quinn Coffey, and they're going to say Smith Center basketball. 2:39 left to go in the first quarter. 4-4 is our score here between Smith Center and Stockton. And again, Mid-Continent League basketball tournament action here from Stockton. Backside the bracket playing today is Trenton Colby. Scoop shot, no good. Rebound put back by Aiden Long, good. Puts the Redmen back up by 2, 6-2, 2:22 left to go in the first quarter. Ethan Means between the circles, working against Joe Montgomery down to the left elbow. Picks up his dribble, puts up the jumper. It's off, no good. Rebound picked up there by Trenton Colby. Colby pushes it up the court for the Redmen with 2:08 left to go in the first quarter, and Smith Center up by 2. Backdoor pass for Griffin Kugler. Left-handed shot off the glass and good. Nice look by Trenton Colby to find the cutting Griffin Kugler towards the basket. Kugler had the easy shot from the left block, gets it to fall. He now has 4, and Smith Center leads by 4, 8-4, with 1:50 left to go in the first quarter. Stockton basketball. Miller has it out front to Rogers. Troy Rogers thought about the shot, instead gives it to Means left wing. Means on the dribble, now to the right side to Miller. Miller down to the right corner to Rogers. Rogers picked up there by Nolan Lehman. Looking in for Quinn Coffey. Instead, back out front to Miller, goes to basketball. He'll put up the 3 over Kugler. No good. Rebounded by Long. Long to Colby with under a minute and a half left to play in the first quarter. Smith Center leads by 4, 8-4 over Stockton. Long turnaround shot over Means, no good. Rebound fought for. Lehman comes down with it. Lehman kicks it back out to Trenton Colby, and Colby going to get called for the travel, so it will be Stockton basketball. 1:17 left to go in the first quarter. 8-4 is our score. Smith Center leads Stockton here in the feather bracket game. As again, these two teams, along with Oakley, all lost in the play-in game, so they kind of feather bracket round, feather games around robin between the three, as Smith Center beat Oakley on Tuesday. Now Smith Center Stockton play today. Stockton Oakley will play on Saturday at 10:30. 57 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Ethan Means has it out front to Troy Rogers for Stockton. 8-4 is our score. Smith Center leads Stockton. In 50 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Miller to Coffey. Coffey drives in, kicks out to Rogers. Right corner, 3's on its way. No good. Rebounded by Ethan Means. Means dribbles back out. He's in the left corner. Kicks it out to Troy Rogers. Top of the key around to Miller right side. Down to the right corner to Coleman. Coleman out front to Means. Means deep 3 on its way. That one's good. Means has 5, and it makes it a 1-point ball game. 8-7. Smith Center leads Stockton. 20 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Trenton Colby out front with it, picked up by Josh Coleman. Colby on the dribble. Crosses over. Gets tipped, picks it up, now to Montgomery. Montgomery drives in, pump fake up under, and going to get called for the travel. Tarek Kelch comes in, and Nolan Lehman going to take a seat. 7.2 seconds left to go in this first quarter. So Center leads by 1, 8-7. Miller pushes it quickly up the court, and going to have a foul called. And this will be the second on the Smith Center Redmen. And the first on Griffin Kugler. Stockton will inbound. Troy Rogers gets it to Means. Means 2 seconds left. Pump fakes and gets it up at the buzzer. No good. Smith Center leads after the first, 8-7. We'll take a timeout here. Be back with second quarter action right after this as you're listening to MCL basketball tournament coverage on KQMA and the World Wide Web.
And on www.usd237 and Next Tech Channel 165. I'm Alan Denman here with Trace Billinger running the camera, so hopefully you're enjoying what you're seeing here. Hopefully the TV is working all right, and everybody that will watch on the internet if that's what they're doing. I'd like to thank our sponsors. If you'd like to be a sponsor, you can send money to Smith Center Junior Senior High School, 300 Roger Barta Way, Smith Center, Kansas, 66967. Thanks to Next Tech for giving us wireless hotspot to use for our away games in the Next Tech wireless area. Next Tech for your internet, TV, phone, wireless cloud, wireless cell service, cloud service, managed IT advertising, business, and home surveillance. Go Redmen.
Smith Center and Stockton in those feather bracket round robin games. These three teams lost in the playing games on Saturday, so they're kind of in a round robin here throughout the rest of the week. Smith Center beat Oakley on Tuesday in Norton 48-32. So now Smith Center plays Stockton today, and then Stockton will play Oakley on Saturday at 10:30. 8-7. Smith Center leads Stockton after the first quarter. Stockton basketball to start the second quarter. Coleman has it out front. He's joined on the court by Means, Troy Rogers, Quinn Coffey, and Trevor Miller as Means drives in. Stolen away by Aiden Long as he stepped into the passing lane as Means was looking for Coffey at the right block. Smith Center basketball as it's Trenton Colby. Gets the screen from Montgomery, puts up the three and buries it. There's Trenton Colby as he missed a couple shots there in the first quarter. There he gets it going from outside, so we'll see how he does throughout the rest of the game. He's already got 5 of the 11 for the Redmen as they lead 11-7. Trevor Miller has at the free throw line out to Ethan Means. Means back at the free throw line, picks up his dribble out to Coleman right wing. Out front to Trevor Miller, back to Coleman in the right corner. Inside for Coffey, right block up under, and they're going to have a foul called. Third team foul on the Redmen. And see who they call this one on. It's going to be on Aiden Long, his first. Ben Rogers heads to the scorer's desk for the Stockton Tigers. 7:09 left to go into this first half. And Quinn Coffey hits the first one. He gets his first point of the ball game as Troy Rogers takes a seat. Again, Ben Rogers back into the game for Stockton. 11-8. Smith Center leads Stockton as Quinn Coffey's second one is good as well. So Coffey gets his first 2 points of the ball game, and it makes it a 2-point Smith Center lead, 11-9 with 7 minutes left to play in this first half. Colby has it at the free throw line, picks up his dribble now to Long. Long out front with it, out front to Tarek Kelch. Kelch around to Kugler, right wing. Kugler back to Montgomery inside for Long. Long right block over Means, good! Long has 4, and Smith Center leads by 4, 13-9 with 6:40 left to go in the first half. Coleman has it left wing out to Ben Rogers, the free throw line. Rogers dribbles back out to the right wing, inside for Coffey. Coffey right block. Kicks it back out to Ben Rogers, now to Means. Means between the circles, down to the left wing to Coleman. Just under 6.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Smith Center leads 13-9. Ben Rogers, top of the key, drives in, kicks it out to Means, right wing, picked up there by Montgomery to Trevor Miller, top of the key, three's on its way, and it's good. So Trevor Miller gets his first points of the ball game, and it makes it a 1-point game. Smith Center leads Stockton by 1, 13-12. Trenton Colby drives all the way inside, leaves it off for Long. Long left block off the glass and good. Good look there by Trenton Colby, his second assist of the ball game, and a 30-second timeout called by Coach Fox. We'll take one with him. Smith Center leads by 3, 15-12. You're listening to MCL basketball tournament coverage on KQMA and the World Wide Web.
If you get an opportunity, I suggest you come out and watch some basketball. So it's going to be playing next week. Lady Red will be playing tomorrow, I believe at 3 o'clock in Plainville, so come on down for that. The wrestlers are going to head down to Beloit there for that 2-day Beloit big tournament down there. So head on out. If you like the wrestling, come on down there and check it out. And Lady Red will be playing tomorrow and Saturday. Not sure the time on Saturday. Depends on if they win or lose. Go, Lady. 3, 2.
5:53 left to go in the first half. Smith Center leads by 3, 15-12. Stockton basketball out of the timeout. Ben Rogers has it inside for Josh Coleman. Left block off the glass. No good. It rolls across the iron. Rebounded by Aiden Long. Long outlets ahead to Trenton Colby. That's Freddie Lambert in the ballgame for the first time for the Redmen. Montgomery hop step, and then he's going to get called for a charge. Montgomery's first personal foul, 4th Redmen team foul. 5:35 left to go in the first half. Smith Center leads by 3. It's 15-12. Stockton basketball as Ethan Means brings it up the court. Working against Joel Montgomery down to Coleman right wing. Coleman out front to Ben Rogers. He's picked up there by Trenton Colby. They swing around to Miller left side. Miller looked at the basket. Instead passes to Means. Means puts up the 3. No good. Left to short. Rebounded by Kugler. Griffin brings it back up left to right on your radio dial. Crosses over. Drives all the way into the paint. Lost the dribble. Fighting for the basketball. Gets tipped out in the hands of Trenton Colby. Colby floater from the left baseline. Rattles out. No good. Rebounded by Ethan Means. Means ahead to Ben Rogers. Rogers ahead to Miller. Miller right corner with it. Back out to Means right wing. Means on the dribble. Crosses over. Drives in. Leaves underneath for Coffee. Left block. Keep pump fakes. Shot is up. Blocked by Montgomery into the hands of Means. And then Means is going to be fouled. 5th team foul on the Redmen. Fouls on Joel Montgomery, his second. As Nolan Lehman will get set to come in for the Redmen. Gage Cognac and Jace Hull in for the Tigers as Ethan Means heads to the free throw line. Shoot his first one. It's on its way. No good. Long takes a seat for the Redmen. Coleman and Coffey both take a seat for the Tigers. Again, Cognac and Hull back in for the Tigers. And Nolan Lehman back in for the Redmen as Ethan Means gets set for his second free throw. And that one no good. Rebound put back by Cognac, no good. Rebounded by Montgomery. Redmen basketball as Trenton Colby has it out front to Montgomery inside for Lehman. Lehman back out, Colby right corner, 3's on its way, and it's good! Makes it 18-12. The Redmen lead by 6 with 4.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Means has it out front. He's going to drive all the way into the hole. Left block high off the glass and good. As actually that one didn't even touch the glass as it looked like it was heading for the glass and just dropped right in. So it makes it 18-14. 4:15 left to go in this first half. Ethan Means has 7 of the 14 for Stockton. So Lambert has it left wing. And then a travel going to be called on Lambert. So ball goes right back to Stockton with 4:08 left to go in the first half. And Stockton with the basketball. Smith Center leads by 4, 18-14. Ethan Means brings it back up the court. Ahead to Rogers, left wing. Out front to Miller. Miller back to Rogers. Long heads to the scorer's desk for the Redmen. Hull drives in. Shot no good. Rebounded by Kugler. Kugler brings it up the court for the Redmen. Down to the right wing to Trenton Colby. Pump fakes. Kicks it back to Kugler. Kugler back down to Colby. Colby on the dribble, inside for Lehman. Lehman turnaround shot too hard off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Ethan Means. Unofficially already 5 rebounds for Means in this first half. So he brings it quickly up the court, down to the top of the key. 3.5 to go in the first half. Smith Center leads by 4, 18-14. Hull has it out front, now to Miller, right wing. Down to the right corner to Means. Means drives in to the right block. Shot is up, no good. Rebounded by Ben Rogers. Rogers out to Miller, 3 on its way, no good. Rebound by Means, put back by Means, no good. And rebounded by Cognac. Cognac put back is no good. Rebounded by Lambert. 3:03 left to go in the first half. The Smith Center Redmen lead 18-14. As Coach Buckmaster wants a timeout. So we'll take a timeout with him, and you're listening to MCL Basketball Tournament coverage on KQMA and the World Wide Web.
And on www.usc237 and Next Tech Channel 165, I'm Alan Donovan here with Trace Billinger. I'd like to thank some of our sponsors: Ruth Curtis, Joyce Jones, Jerry Chapin, Farmers Union Insurance, Greg and Tamara Frank, David Alwyn, Daryl and Catherine Lehman, Skip and Marie Overmiller, Matt and Alicia Brown, John and Ellis Sparks, Gerald and Jana Beauclair, Third Street Design, Catherine McCary, Tim and Paul Pullen, State Line Properties, and beautiful downtown Smith Center, Sean Phelps, proprietor. Go Redmen.
2:58 left to play in the first half. The Smith Center Redmen with the basketball with a 4-point lead, 18-14 over the Stockton Tigers. Lehman has it left corner. Back to the left wing to Trenton Colby. They look inside for Aiden Long. Can't get it to him. Skip past to Hendrich. Hendrich inside for Long. Long gets it stripped. Trevor Miller brings it up the court now for the Stockton Tigers. Ahead to Means right wing. They leave him wide open, and he puts up the three. No good. It rolls out. Rebound put back by Cognac is no good. And then it's rebounded by Griffin Kugler. 18-14. Smith Center leads by 4 over Stockton here in the MCL basketball tournament. Backside the bracket being played today. This is the feather bracket games. Kind of a feather bracket round robin with 3 teams in it this year. Lehman, backside pass for Kugler. Kugler splits the defense. Shot is up and good. 20-14 as Smith Center regains their 6-point lead with 2 minutes left to go in the first half. Means has it down to the left corner to Miller. Miller out front to Rogers. Rogers gets a screen from Cognac, dribbles out between the circles, down to the right wing to Means. Means on the dribble to the top, the key guarded tightly by Kugler. Now to Miller, 3 on its way. No good off the back of the iron. Rebound tip right in the hands of Ben Rogers. Rogers to Miller, back to Rogers between the circles. Rogers now finds Ethan Means. Means on the dribble, top of the key, again picked up by Griffin Kugler between the circles. Means behind the back dribble, loses the handle on it, picks it back up with 1:25 left to go in the first half. Smith Center leads by 6, and Trevor Miller going to get called for the charge as Griffin Kugler had his feet planted. So Miller picks up his first personal foul, 4th Stockton team foul. 1:21 left to go in this first half. As Jace Holt takes his seat, Josh Coleman comes back in. Smith Center leads by 6, 20-14, as Griffin Kugler going to be bringing the ball up the court this time for the Redmen. Ahead to Nate Hendrich. Hendrich down to the left corner to Lehman. Back to Kugler left side. Out front between the circles to Colby. Back to Kugler. Inside for Long. Long underneath for Kugler. Tipped out by Cognac, and it will remain Smith Center basketball. Good read that time by Gage Cognac to see what was coming. Got his hand out there. Tipped that one out. And again, it will be Smith Center basketball. 1:04 left to play in the first half. Smith Center leads by 6, 20-14. Colby into Kugler. Kugler 3 on its way. Off the back of the iron. No good. Rebounded by Nate Hendrich. Hendrich back out to Kugler. Now to Colby left corner. Colby picks up his dribble. Now to Kugler. Kugler going to reset things with 52 seconds left to go in the first half. Colby left wing. Out front between the circles to Kugler. Now to Hendrich. Hendrich gets a tip by Means, stolen away in the hands of Gage Cognac. Back to Ethan Means. Means ahead to Coleman. Coleman in right corner 3. Good. It rattles in as it hit the rim, bounced straight up and went in for Josh Coleman. His first points of the ball game makes it a 3-point Smith Center lead, 20-17. 23 seconds left to go in the first half. Smith Center going to be looking for the final shot here of the first half as Colby has it to Kugler. Kugler back to Colby. 14 seconds left to go. Colby on the dribble, back to Kugler, left side. Kugler drives in, kicks out to Lehman, left corner, now to Colby, left wing. 6 seconds, Colby puts up the jumper, no good, saved in by Kugler into Lehman. Lehman right block up, and no good, it rolls out at the buzzer, and it will be Smith Center up 20-17 at halftime. We'll take a timeout here, be back to wrap things up from the first half right after this as you're listening to MCL basketball tournament coverage on KQMA and the World Wide Web.
Thanks to Jesse Ray for always doing a great job on the basketball announcing thing there. So we're going to be in Plainville tomorrow and Saturday. Come on down there to Plainville, watch some basketball. And the junior high is at the wrestling today, so down at TMP. So go Redmen, go Lady Red. I'm Alan Donovan.
The grade school gym will be the TMP Lady Monarchs taking on the Ellis Lady Railers. And then it will be the Oakley Lady Plainsmen taking on the Norton Lady Jays. Next up here in the high school gym, Hoxie will take on Norton on boys action. And then we'll have the final game of the day here from the high school gym for you, as well as Plainville takes on Trigo. The Cardinals 7-1 coming into the tournament. Then they lost to Hill City 62-57, so you know the Cardinals want to get back on the winning side of things as they have dropped 2 straight. So we'll have that coverage for you coming up tonight, as well as Plainville takes on Trigo in the final game here in the high school. As we are at halftime of the first game of the day, Smith Center leads Stockton 20-17. We'll take our final 2 minutes here. We'll be back with the second half from Stockton High School right after this, as you're listening to MCL basketball tournament coverage on KQMA and the World Wide Web. Stockton, as we start the second half, it will be Redmen basketball. It's Montgomery, Hendrich, Colby, Long, and Lehman for the Redmen. Cognac means Ben Rogers along with Chase Hull and Trevor Miller for the Tigers. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Redmen. Stockton basketball as Means brings it left to right on your radio dial. Ahead to Miller, right wing. Back out front to Rogers. Back to Miller in the right corner. Miller letting the offense work. Picks up his dribble after one dribble. Now to Rogers out front. Down to Miller, right corner. Miller inside for Jace Hull. Hull shot is up and no good. He gets his own rebound. Put back, no good. Rebound by Gage Cognac. And then a foul going to be called on the Redmen. Their first team foul and the second on Trenton Colby. (20-17). Smith Center leads Stockton here in the Mid-Continent League Basketball Tournament game. Backside the bracket being played today here in Stockton. We'll have the championship semifinals tomorrow from Plainville. Stockton basketball as Miller has it down to the left baseline to Cognac. Back to Miller, left wing, out front to Means. Means, top of the key with it on the dribble. Back to Miller, left corner. Miller, one dribble back to Means. Means out front between the circles, down to the right wing to Jace Hull. Hull back around to Means. Means swings it around to Miller, left wing, back to Means, inside for Rogers. Quickly to Hull, back out to Means. Means three on its way. Good! Means has 10, and that ties things up at 20 apiece with 6:45 left to go in the third quarter. Smith Center with the basketball. Colby has it to Hendrich, down to Lehman in the left corner. Lehman back to Colby, inside for Long. Long picks up his dribble, looking, kicks out to Colby, left corner, three's on its way. No good for Trenton Colby. Fighting for the rebound, Gage Cognac comes away with it for the Stockton Tigers. Ethan Means has it on the dribble, down to the left wing between the circles. Now back to Hull, out front to Miller to Ben Rogers between the circles. Down the Hull in the right wing, down to the right corner to Miller. Back to Means, right wing. Means one dribble back to Rogers between the circles to Miller, right wing. Miller on the dribble, gets a screen from Means, drives all the way down to the baseline behind the back dribble, back out to the right wing. Goes the basketball to Ben Rogers with 6 minutes left to go in the third quarter, and we're tied at 20. Rogers spots up for three, no good. Rebounded by Aiden Long, and he's going to be fouled. First team foul on the Stockton Tigers. And it will be the first on Gage Cognac. So Griffin Kugler into the ball game. Nate Hendrich takes a seat. Trenton Colby brings it up the court for the Redmen, right to left on your radio dial. Down to the left wing to Kugler, now to Lehman in the left corner. Ball gets tipped out by Ben Rogers and will remain Redmen basketball. 5:45 left to go in the third quarter. We're tied at 20 apiece. Montgomery with it between the circles, the left wing to Colby, now to Lehman left corner. Back to Montgomery, inside for Long, tipped out by Cognac and stolen away. As Ethan Means will bring it back up the court now for the Stockton Tigers. He's between the circles. Kicks it to the left wing to Ben Rogers. Rogers looking, letting the offense work. Now he puts the ball in the court. Kicks it out front to Miller, top of the key. Miller now on the dribble. Gets a screen from Cognac. Takes it the other way. His layup is no good. And a jump ball called. It will remain Stockton basketball. 5:16 left to go in the third quarter. We're tied at 20 here between Smith Center and Stockton. Ben Rogers to inbound for the Stockton Tigers. Gets it into Means, right corner three on its way. No good. Tipped and rebounded by Trevor Miller. Miller out front to Jace Hull. Hull back around to Miller. He's asking for a screen. Instead kicks it over to Means. Means back to Miller, left corner. Miller back to Means. Means looks inside for Rogers. Back to Miller. Goes to basketball. Left wing three's on its way. Rattles out. No good. Rebound tracked down by Joel Montgomery. Montgomery gives it off to Trenton Colby. Colby pushes it up the court. Drives in. The floater's up in the paint. Left is short. No good. Rebounded by Ethan Means. And he's going to be fouled. Nolan Lehman picks up his first personal foul. Second Redmen team foul. Troy Rogers gets set to come back into the ball game now for Stockton. Josh Coleman also coming back in. Jace Hull takes a seat. And let's see. Ben Rogers going to take a seat. Looks like Quinn Coffey coming in as well. And it is going to be Gage Cognac taking a seat. 4:47 left to go in the third quarter. We're tied at 20 apiece here between Smith Center and Stockton. Means to Coleman. Coleman back to Means. Means swings it around to the left wing to Trevor Miller. Back to Means between the circles. Ethan Means guarded by Griffin Kugler. Picks up his dribble now to Miller. Miller again open for three. That one again rolls out. Fighting for the rebound out of bounds. Last touch by Troy Rogers, and it will be Smith Center basketball. 4:28 left to go in the third quarter. We're tied at 20 here between Smith Center and Stockton. First game of the day here from Stockton, the Mid-Continent League Basketball Tournament. We'll also have the final game here from the high school as Plainville takes on Trigo later on tonight in the consolation semifinals. In this game, two teams that lost in the play-in games as Long gets the entry pass. Up and good. Aiden Long gets the first points of the second half for the Redmen. And they now lead by 22-20. 4:05 left to go in the third quarter. Troy Rogers with it, picks up his dribble, down to the left corner, now to Coleman. Coleman back to Rogers. Rogers inside for Means, touch pass to Miller, right wing. Miller back out front to Means. Means, spike line three's on its way, and it's good! Means has 13, and Stockton leads by 1, 23-22. 3:40 left to go in the third quarter. Long underneath for Montgomery. Montgomery blocked from behind, but right into the hands of Lehman, and Lehman going to get his first points of the ball game and puts the Redmen back up by 1, 24-23. 3.5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Means backside pass for Coffey. Coffey underneath, and he's going to get called for the charge. His first foul of the ball game, and the second Stockton Tiger team foul. .325 left to play in this third quarter. And it is Smith Center up by 1, 24-23. Colby has it to Kugler, right wing. Skip pass to Montgomery, tipped by Trevor Miller, tracked down by Joel Montgomery. Montgomery down to the left corner to Lehman. Lehman, skip pass to Kugler. Kugler drives in, picks up his dribble now to Montgomery. Montgomery is going to get called for the travel. So he went to pump fake. Feet moved a little quicker than the ball that time, so gets called for the travel. And it will be Stockton basketball. 3:07 left to go in the third quarter. Smith Center leads by 1 over Stockton, 24-23. Miller has it right side. Down to the right corner to Troy Rogers. They look inside for Coffey. Can't quite get it to him. Miller swings it back around to Means. Means quickly to Miller. Miller right wing three. No good. Off the back of the iron. Gets his own rebound. Miller back to Means, left side. Means back to Miller, right wing. Down to the right corner to Rogers. Troy Rogers with it. Skip pass to Means. Means down to Coleman. Left corner three's on its way over Montgomery. No good. Rebound 5-4, and going to have a foul called. It's going to be on Stockton, their third team foul, and the first on Troy Rogers. 2:34 left to play in the third quarter. Smith Center leads by 1 over Stockton, 24-23. Joel Montgomery will inbound for the Redmen as they go right to left on your radio dial here in the second half. Colby has it between the circles, down to the left wing to Lehman. Lehman looks inside, letting the offense work now to Montgomery. Montgomery back to Lehman, left corner. Lehman looking. He puts the ball on the court now to Kugler. Kugler out front, back to Lehman, left side. Lehman again letting the offense work through. They find Montgomery at the free throw line underneath for Kugler. Stolen away by Josh Coleman as it was tipped. Coleman tracks it down. Now he pushes it up the left sideline. Picks up his dribble out front to Means. Means to the free throw line. Back out to Coleman, left wing. Inside for Coffey, left block. Quickly passes to Miller. Touch pass to Rogers. Back to Miller. Now to Means, left side. Means back to Miller, right wing. Down to the right corner to Rogers. Troy puts up the three, and it's good. Troy Rogers gets his first points of the ball game, and it makes it a 2-point Stockton lead, 26-24. A minute 38 left to go in the third quarter. Kugler right wing with it on the dribble, out front now to Trenton Colby. Colby thought about the three, doesn't take it. Bounce pass in for long, tipped out, and it's picked up by Trenton Colby. Colby down to the right wing, bounce pass to Kugler. Kugler picks up his dribble around to Montgomery, left wing. Shot is up, left is short, rebounded by Ethan Means. Means pushes it quickly up the court now for the Stockton Tigers all the way down to the paint. Kicks out to Miller, down to the right corner to Rogers. Rogers back to Miller, right wing. Out front between the circles to Means. Means looking. Kicks it back to Miller. Miller, right wing. Back to Means, left side. Means puts up the deep three. This time rolls out, no good. Ball tipped around, rebounded by Josh Coleman. Coleman shot blocked out of bounds by Trenton Colby, and it will remain Stockton basketball. 57.9 seconds left to go in the third quarter. And the Stockton Tigers lead the Smith Center Redmen 26-24. Nolan Lehman takes his seat. Nate Hendrich back into the ball game now for the Smith Center Redmen. Ethan Means to inbound. Does so to Troy Rogers, back around to Miller. Miller down to Means, left corner, back to Miller, left wing. Miller dribbles back out between the circles. Will reset the offense here for the Stockton Tigers. 47 seconds left to go in this third quarter. Stockton leads by 2, 26-24. Means skip past Coleman, right corner, three is good. That puts Stockton up by 5, 29-24. So center basketball, 30 seconds left to go. Montgomery now to Long. Long splits the defense, loses the handle on it. Ball fought for out of bounds. They're going to say last touch by Stockton. So Smith Center basketball as Joe Montgomery inbounds with 21 seconds left to go. They look for Long, stolen away by Miller. Trevor Miller ahead to Josh Coleman. Coleman layup is good. Josh Coleman's got 8, and Stockton extends their lead at 31-24. Stockton on an 8-0 run here. Hendrich has it, left corner now to Trenton Colby, left wing, 2 seconds left. And a foul going to be called with half a second left to go here in this third quarter. Fouls on Trevor Miller, his second.
Hey, in front of you.
Montgomery inbound, 0.5 seconds left to go. They get it to Hendrich. Hendrich to hold on to it, and that's going to do it for the third quarter with Stockton coming back and taking the lead 31-24. We'll take a timeout here. Be back with the fourth quarter of action right after this as you're listening to MCL basketball tournament coverage on KQMA and the World Wide Web.
And on www.usd237 and Next Tech Channel 165. Some of our sponsors I'd like to thank. 4165 sponsors. If you'd like to be a sponsor, you can send money to Smith Center Junior Senior High School, 300 Roger Barta Way, Smith Center, Kansas. We'll put your money to good use to help out here to keep these broadcasts on the TV and on the internet. So I'd like to thank Gary and Brenda Freeling, Mike Hintz, Neil Herndon, Neil and Karen Herndon, Mitch and Tamara Holtis, Go Chiefs, Donna Duntz, Holtis Boys, LD, Mike, Mitch, and Lyle. Don't forget, May 2nd and 3rd, there's going to be a big celebration for the home on the range. There's going to be pickleball. There's going to be a golf tournament. There's going to be fun run. Mitch usually brings back one or two of the Chiefs players to have a chit-chat, so a live chit-chat, so come on out for that. I'd like to thank Larry and Barbara Wilson, Shaylin Long, Dennis and Pam Hutchison. Go.
For the Redmen, Quinn Coffey, along with Troy Rogers, Ethan Means, Trevor Miller, and Josh Coleman for the Stockton Tigers. Redmen basketball start the fourth quarter. Coleman comes away with a steal. Gives it off to Miller. Miller is going to be fouled as he was heading in for a layup. This will be the third team foul on the Redmen. Fouls on Trenton Colby, his third, so Trevor Miller heads to the free throw line. He will shoot two here. As a Miller, 3 of 4 on the year from the free throw line. First one is no good. So the score remains as Stockton 31, Smith Center 24. Nolan Lehman comes into the ball game for the Redmen. And Nate Hendrich going to take a seat. Miller getting set for his second one now. On its way. That one no good. Rebound fought for Means. Steps out of bounds, so it will be Redmen basketball. 7:46 left to play in this fourth quarter. And Stockton leads Smith Center 31-24. Trenton Colby calls out the offense. Kicks it down to Griffin Kugler. Back out front to Trenton Colby. Inside for Lehman. Lehman now to Montgomery. Blocked by Miller. Montgomery comes back up with it. Inside for Long. Long loses the handle on it. Now he'll put up the shot. Counted. He heads to the line for an and one. Aiden Long's got 10. He'll be looking for point number 11 and trying to cut even further into this Stockton lead. Fouls on Quinn Coffey, his second. So Aiden Long at the free throw line for his and one attempt. On its way and good. So Long leads all scores for the Redmen with 11, and it makes it 31-27. 7:23 left to go as Rogers puts up the three, no good. Rebounded by Trenton Colby. Colby pushes it up the court, down to the right wing, now to Joel Montgomery, back out to Trenton Colby or to Griffin Kugler, left wing. Lehman off the glass and good. Nolan's got 4, and it makes it 31-29. 7 minutes left to go in this ball game. Ethan Means has it down to Coleman. Back out to Troy Rogers. 3 on its way. He left it short, no good. A rebound put back by Quinn Coffey, good. Coffey's got 4 to makes it 33-29. 6:45 left to go in the fourth quarter. Kugler has it right wing out front to Trenton Colby. Colby looking, back around to Kugler, right wing. Back out front to Colby. Colby thought about the shot, instead drives in. 18-footer on its way, off the glass, no good. Rebound put back by Lehman is. Lehman's got 6, and it makes it a 2-point ball game, 33-31. Stockton with a 2-point lead. Ethan Means on the dribble, down to the right elbow, kicks it out front to Troy Rogers. Now to Coleman, left wing, out front to Miller. Miller back to Coleman, left wing. Coleman out to Means. Means puts up the 3, no good. Rebound tracked down by Lehman. Lehman hands it off to Trenton Colby. Colby, right side, out now to Kugler, left wing. Kugler back out front to Trenton Colby. 33-31, Stockton leads by 2. Just under 6 minutes left to play in this ball game. Colby has it on the dribble. Splits the defense, gets tripped up, gets it to Aiden Long, and Long going to be fouled. 16 foul on the Stockton Tigers. And it's going to be on Ethan Means, his first personal foul. 5:47 left to go in the ball game. Stockton leads Smith Center by 2, 33-31. First one for Long on its way, off the back of the iron, no good. Ben Rogers back in, Gage Cognac back in. Quinn Coffey takes a seat. Also, Troy Rogers takes a seat. 33-31. Stockton leads Smith Center by that 2-point margin. Long second one, no good as well. Rebounded by Ethan Means. Means all the way down to the left wing, out front to Coleman. Coleman back around to Rogers. They swing it down to Miller in the right wing. Miller, and gonna have a foul called here. Fourth team foul on the Redmen. And it's gonna be the third on Joel Montgomery. 5:35 left to go here in the fourth quarter. The Stockton Tigers lead the Smith Center Redmen. 33-31. Tice McKenzie into the ball game now for the Redmen. And Rogers inbounds to Coleman. Coleman back to Rogers. Right wing three's on its way. No good. Rebound put back by Ethan Means. Counted. He heads the line for an and one. Means has 15. And Joel Montgomery picks up his fourth personal foul. Fifth Redmond team foul. Just under 5.5 minutes left to play here in the ball game. Stockton leads by 4, 35-31. Means free throw, good. He now has 16. And Stockton leads by 5, 36-31 as Griffin Kugler brings it up the court. He's going to be between the circles, down to the left wing to McKenzie. McKenzie tipped and stolen away by Josh Coleman. He'll hand it off to Ethan Means, and Means brings it back up the court now for the Redmen. Ahead to Coleman, back around to Rogers' right wing. Down to Coleman in the right corner. Coleman between the legs dribble, drives in, right block up, no good. Rebound, 5-4 out of bounds it goes. Last touch by the Redmen, so it will be Stockton basketball. 5:03 left to play. And Aiden Long coming back into the ballgame now for the Redmen. Is Joel Montgomery going to take a seat with those 4 fouls? 36-31. Stockton Tigers lead the Smith Center Redmen here in the MCL basketball tournament. Means has it on the dribble in the right corner, guarded by Aiden Long. Now they kick it out front to Ben Rogers, back to Means, right wing. Pump fakes. He's on the dribble, out front, out to Coleman. Coleman back to Means, right wing. Means back around to Coleman, between the circles, 3 on its way. No good, rebounded by Aiden Long. Long outlets ahead to Trenton Colby. Colby works against Trevor Miller, down to the right corner to Kugler. Kugler on the dribble, picks it up out front to Colby. Colby, deep 3 on its way, and it's good! Colby's got 11, and Smith Center cuts the lead to 2, 36-34. Stockton leads Smith Center with 4:32 left to go in the ball game. We'll take a timeout. This one's called on the court. You're listening to MCL basketball tournament coverage on KQMA and the World Wide Web.
Once again, we'd like to take next step for the wireless hotspot for our away game. And the next step for security and Roger Webb just come on down.
36-34, the Stockton Tigers lead the Smith Center Redmen by 2. Ethan Means, Gage Cognac, Ben Rogers, Trevor Miller, and Josh Coleman back on the court for the Stockton Tigers. So we wait to see in which Redmen come back out here. There's Trenton Colby, Aiden Long, Griffin Kugler, Nolan Lehman, and Tarek Kelch for the Redmen. Tigers basketball out of the timeout. We have 4:32 left to play here in this ball game. Again, Stockton leads Smith Center by 2, 36-34. Means brings it left to right on your radio dial across the timeline. He'll be picked up out front by Trenton Colby. They swing it around to Trevor Miller, right side. Picked up there by Griffin Kugler. Miller tipped by Kugler. Picked up by Ben Rogers. Rogers on the dribble. Inside for Coleman. Quickly out to Miller, right corner. Miller on the dribble, drives down to the baseline, behind the back out to the right corner, picks up his dribble there, now to Means. Means is going to drive baseline, gets underneath the basket, leaves it off for Cognac, and he's going to be fouled. 16 foul on the Redmen. Fouls on Aiden Long, his second. And it will send Gage Cognac to the free throw line to shoot 2. 4:04 left to play. Stockton leads by 2, 36-34. Cognac, a 50% free throw shooter on the season. He's 2 of 4 from the charity stripe. First one's on its way, no good. 4:04 left to go. Stockton leads by 2, 36-34 over Smith Center. Cognac's second one, no good, rebounded by Lehman. Griffin Kugler brings it up for the Redmen, and Kugler then gets called for the travel, so ball goes right back in the hands of Stockton with 3:56 left to play in the ball game. Stockton leads Smith Center by 2, 36-34. Coleman hands it off now, inbounds to Ethan Means. Means between the circles. Sets up the offense for the Tigers to Miller right side. Miller picked up by Kugler, out front now to Rogers. Ben Rogers gets a screen out front from Cognac, picks up his dribble now to Miller right side. Miller looking. On the dribble is Trevor Miller. Around to Ben Rogers between the circles, now to Means right side, picked up there by Trenton Colby. Means all the way down. 10-footer is up and gonna have a whistle here. The basket is good by Ethan Means. He has 18. Fouls on Josh Coleman after the fact. His second personal foul, 7th Tigers team foul. And the Redmen will head down to the other end to shoot 1-1, as that is going to be Tarek Kelch heading to the free throw line for the Redmen. 3:26 left to go here in this ball game. Stockton leads by 4, 38-34. Tarek Kelch. First end is no good. It rattles out. Rebound put back by Aiden Long. No good. But he's fouled as well, and he'll head to the free throw line. 18 foul on the Tigers. Fouls on Ben Rogers, his second. So Aiden Long heads back to the free throw line now for the Redmen. Trying to cut into this Tiger lead as it's 38-34. Stockton leads Smith Center. Long's first one is no good off the back of the iron. So he has a chance to make it a 3-point game with this one. It's 38-34 right now. Stockton leads Smith Center. 3:24 left to play here in this ball game. Second one for Long, rolls out, no good. Rebounded by Ben Rogers. And then the 17th foul on the Redmen called. It will be on Tarek Kelch, his first. And we head right down to the other end, and we'll shoot more free throws as Ben Rogers steps to the free throw line to shoot 1-1. Tarek Kelch going to take a seat. And Joel Montgomery comes back into the game, and Montgomery's got to be a little careful. He has 4 fouls. Ben Rogers heads to the free throw line to shoot 1-1. First in the 1-1 is good. So Ben Rogers picks up his first point of the ball game, and it makes it a 5-point Stockton lead of 39-34. Rogers' second one, good as well. His second point of the ball game to make it 40-34. 3:20 left to go in this ball game. Stockton leads by 6. Kugler has it right wing. Kugler looking, finds Lehman in the right corner. Lehman looks inside for Long instead. Back out to Trenton Colby, inside for Long, tipped around, and Josh Coleman comes away with the steal. And a quick timeout called by Coach Fox. 3:05 left to go in this ball game. Stockton leads by 6, 40-34. And we'll take a timeout with them as you're listening to MCL basketball tournament coverage on KQMA on the World Wide Web.
If you want to find out what's going on at Redmen and Lady Red Land, you can go to the Smith Center www.usd237.com and go to quick links and then click on the athletic calendar. So like I said, junior high has wrestling at TMP today. And boys have wrestling at Beloit tomorrow and Saturday. Girls will be playing on Friday and Saturday in the MCL tournament. Boys basketball will be, and girls will be on Tuesday at Russell. So go out there and support the Lady Red and Redmen.
This ball game, Stockton leads by 6, 40-34. Stockton basketball out of the timeout. Ben Rogers inbounds to Gage Cognac. Now to Ethan Means. Means works against Trenton Colby. Brings it across the timeline with just under 3 minutes left to play. Means down to Rogers. Rogers out front to Miller. Miller between the circles gets a screen from Cognac down to the right corner to Coleman. Now to Rogers right wing. Ben Rogers back to Coleman in the right corner. Coleman guarded tightly by Joel Montgomery. Out front to Miller. Miller picked up by Griffin Kugler down to the right wing, down to the right corner now to Coleman. Out front to Means with 2:35 left to go. Means On the dribble. Back around to Coleman, right wing. Coleman tipped, and it's stolen away by Lehman. Lehman on the fast break. Layup is good. Nolan's got 8, and it's stolen away by Trenton Colby. Colby gets it out to Montgomery. 4-point lead for Stockton, 40-36. Redmen with the basketball with 2:13 left to go in the ball game. Ball up for grabs, and going to have a timeout called by Coach Buckmaster with 2:08 left to go. And we'll take a timeout with him as you're listening to MCL basketball tournament coverage on KQMA and the World Wide Web.
Our other sponsors are Dennis and Pam Hutchison, Ken and Diane Depperschmidt, John Overmiller, Kim and Brooke Phelps. Thank you so much. Like I said before, there's going to be the Home on the Range celebration coming up May 2nd and 3rd, I believe. So set your calendars for that. Put away some time. Going to be pickleball and a golf tournament and fun run. Maybe always bring some Chiefs back to have a chit chat. So that should be exciting, especially the way the Chiefs are hanging in there. So go Redmen. Go Lady Red. Go Chiefs.
Out. It's Montgomery. Along with Kugler, Colby, Long, and Lehman for the Redmen. Coleman, Miller, Means, Cognac, and Ben Rogers for the Stockton Tigers. Montgomery to inbound for the Redmen, does so to Kugler. Kugler on the dribble, down to the right wing. They leave him wide open for 3, no good, and it's rebounded by Ben Rogers. They hand it off to Ethan Means. Means brings it up the court with 1:54 left to go. Drives all the way down to the free throw line, kicks it back out to Miller. 4-point Stockton lead, 40-36. Means has it right wing. He's going to drive down to the right block. Underneath for Cognac, and a foul going to be called here on the Redmen. 8th team foul on the Redmen, and the second on Nolan Lehman. So Gage Cognac heads to the free throw line to shoot 1-1 for the Stockton Tigers. First one's on its way. No good. Rebounded by Kugler. So the score remains 40-36. Stockton by 4. 1:35 left to go. Long shot up in the paint is good. He's got 13, and it makes it a 2-point ball game of just under a minute and a half left to play here in Stockton. Tigers with the basketball. Means drives all the way to the basket. His floater's up and good. Ethan Means with 20, and his team up by 4, 42-38. And Kugler going to get tied up. Jump ball called Stockton basketball. 1:13 left to play. Stockton leads by 4, 42-38. So, full court pressure put on by the Redmen. Ben Rogers will inbound with 1:13 left to play for the Stockton Tigers. Gets it into Josh Coleman. Coleman pushes it quickly up the court. Down to the right corner to Rogers. Rogers inside for Coleman, and Aiden Long going to get called for the foul. His 3rd personal foul, 9th Redmond team foul, and Josh Coleman heads to the free throw line to shoot 1-1. Coleman, 78% free throw shooter on the season. 7-9 coming into the ball game. This will be his first attempt from the line in this one. Trying to extend the Stockton 4-point lead. It does so with the first one. He now has 9. And Stockton leads 43-38 with 1:05 left to play. Coleman getting set for his second one. Good as well. Josh Coleman now with 10. And Stockton leads 44-38 with 1 minute left to play in this ball game. Kugler has it. Tipped in the hands of Montgomery. Inside for Long. Long kicks it back out to Montgomery. And Montgomery going to get called for the travel. So ball goes back to Stockton. 55 seconds left to go. And Stockton leads 44-38. Full court pressure by the Redmen as Ben Rogers will inbound. Joel Montgomery will cover him up. Trying to make this inbounds pass a little more difficult. They get it into Trevor Miller. And Miller going to step out of bounds as he bounced it off of Nolan Lehman. That will be Smith Center basketball. 53.8 seconds left to go, and Stockton leads 44-38. Montgomery to inbound, does so to Colby. Colby around to Kugler, right wing. Kugler 3 on its way. Good! Kugler's got 9, and the Redmen trail by 3, 44-41. 47 seconds left to go. Timeout in the court. We'll take one with them. You're listening to MCL basketball tournament coverage on KQMA and the World Wide Web.
You can come out and watch basketball at Russell next week. Redmen headed down that way, and Lady Red. Then next Thursday, junior high match, Urban and Decatur. Wrestling, and Smith Center has a duel with Norton on Thursday the 30th. So come on out and root for the Redmen wrestlers. On Friday, the boys wrestlers are headed to Ellis. I believe that's the MCL tournament. And Smith Center basketball is going to be at Stockton a week from tomorrow. So, and forensics is going to be in Norton on the 1st of February. So coming out and support your teams. Go watch some forensics, watch some basketball, watch some wrestling. So go Redmen, go Lady Red.
Lehman and Aiden Long for the Redmen. Gage Cognac, Ben Rogers, Trevor Miller, Josh Coleman, and Ethan Means for the Stockton Tigers. Tigers basketball out of the timeout. Full court press again by the Redmen. Ben Rogers will inbound the basketball. 47.7 seconds left to play, and Stockton leads by 3, 44-41. Ben Rogers looks to inbound, gets it into Josh Coleman. Coleman pushes it quickly up the court, all the way down to the right wing, picks up his dribble, and then a foul going to be called here on the Redmen, their 10th team foul. Fouls on Griffin Kugler, his second personal foul. Josh Coleman back at the free throw line. He just went 2 of 2 the last time he was at the line here in the fourth quarter. So Coleman gets set for his 2 free throws, trying to extend the 3-point Stockton lead. First one's on its way, left is short, no good. So we'll get set for the second one. 41.6 seconds left to play. Stockton leads by 3, 44-41 over Smith Center here in the MCL basketball tournament. Misses that one as well, rebounded by Kugler. Kugler pushes it up the court, now to long left wing, back to Kugler. Kugler thought about the shot, instead drives in, and he's going to be fouled. This is going to be on Josh Coleman, his 3rd. 9th Tigers team foul, and Griffin Kugler heads the free throw line to shoot 1-1. 32.4 seconds left to go in this ball game. Stockton leads by 3, 44-41. Kugler at the free throw line, getting set for the first one. On its way, no good, and then Joel Montgomery gets called for his 5th and final foul. We'll head down to the other end of the court to shoot some free throws. See who Coach Buckmaster decides to put in here for the Redmen. 31.7 seconds left to play. Stockton leads Smith Center 44-41. Tarek Kelch comes into the ball game. Gage Cognac heads to the free throw line to shoot 2 for Stockton. First one is no good. It rattles out. So the score remains a 3-point Stockton lead, 44-41 with 31.7 seconds left. Now Coach Fox wants a timeout to talk things over here. Oh, maybe not. Never mind. Changed his mind. Gage Cognac gets set for the second one. On its way. That one off the rim. No good. Rolls out. Rebounded by Ben Rogers. And Rogers going to be fouled quickly. Fouls on Aiden Long, his 4th. So Ben Rogers heads to the free throw line. He's 2 of 2 in this ball game from the line. Trying to extend the Tiger lead as they lead by 3, 44-41. First one for Ben Rogers is up and good. He now has 3 points, and it makes it a 4-point Tiger lead, 45-41. Now Coach Fox wants a timeout. And we'll take a timeout with them as you're listening to MCL basketball tournament coverage on KQMA and the World Wide Web.
So remember, if you'd like to help us out, you can send money to Smith Center Junior Senior High School, 300 Roger Barta Way, Smith Center, Kansas, 66967. We'll put your money to good use. Don't forget, on Sunday is a Johnson Air Spaghetti Dinner, fundraising to help them out, raising money for their Branson trip. So everybody come out after church and eat some spaghetti, have a nice time there with us, and the Johnsonnaires will be serving us some food. So Something to look forward to right after church. You're watching Redmen basketball on www.usd237 and Next Tech Channel 165. I'm here with Alan Donovan. I'd like to thank Trace Billinger for running the camera today. Always does a fine job.
Here's back at the free throw line, trying to extend this Tiger lead. He hit the first one before the timeout. Now he'll get set for the second free throw here, trying to make it a 5-point Stockton lead. Second one's on its way for Rogers. Good as well. So Ben Rogers 4-4 from the line, all here in this fourth quarter. And Stockton leads by 5, 46-41. Kugler drives in, leaves it underneath for Lehman, through his legs, out of bounds, and it will be Stockton basketball. 21.5 seconds left to go. And Stockton leads by 5, 46-41. Ben Rogers will inbound, full court pressure by the Redmen. This time Nolan Lehman covers him up to try to impede the inbound, and Kyle Fox calls a 30 or 80, 60 second. Numbers are hard. 60-second timeout. There we go. Guessing he wishes he had an 80-second timeout, a little longer, but 60-second timeout. We'll take one with him as you're listening to MCL basketball tournament coverage on KQMA and the World Wide Web.
So I'll do the best I can to put stuff on TV and on the internet whenever I can. Depends on the quality of the service, but most of the time here in the Next Tech land, I had pretty good luck here with this hotspot modem that Next Tech's given me. So thank you, Next Tech. I appreciate everything. Fiber's going in all over the place down to Salida and Great Bend, expanding out there. So thank you, Next Tech, for all we do. I work for Next Tech, of course, working during the day and taking vacation time to come and do this for the Redmen and Lady Red. So go Redmen, go Lady Red.
6-41, Stockton leads Smith Center. Aiden Long, Tarek Kelch, along with Nolan Lehman, Griffin Kugler, and Trenton Colby for the Redmen. Ben Rogers, along with Trevor Miller, Josh Coleman, Ethan Means, and Gage Cognac out there for the Tigers. 21.5 seconds left to go. Tigers basketball, full court pressure by the Redmen. Ben Rogers inbounds. Ethan Means tracks it down. And Tarek Kelch going to get called for his second personal foul. And Ethan Means will head to the free throw line. Means already hit the 20-point mark in this ball game, so he's looking to extend that and to extend the Tiger lead. Means getting set for the first one. It's on its way. That one is good. He missed 2 free throws back in the second quarter. Those were just his third and fourth missed free throws all season long. He was 18 of 20 coming into this ballgame, a 90% free throw shooter. As he makes both of them there, he now has 22, and Stockton leads by 7, 48-41. 16 seconds left to go. Colby has it, left wing. On the dribble, top of the key, drives all the way in. Off the glass, no good. Rebound, put back by Aiden Long, is good. Long has 15 and 2 seconds left, and that's going to do it. Stockton defeats Smith Center 48-43. We'll take a timeout here, come back, wrap things up from this game for you right after this as you're listening to MCL basketball tournament coverage on KQMA and the World Wide Web.
Thank you to everybody that's helped us out in the past. I'd like to thank the boys who helped me tote stuff out to my car. That's handy to have because I don't tote very well anymore. This old fart is set in. So you're watching Redmen basketball on www.usd237 and Next Tech Channel 165. We'll see you tomorrow about 3 o'clock or so. Lady Red taking on Hoxie, Lady Indians. They're at Plainville, so come on down to Plainville and watch some good basketball down there. We'll see you all later. Bye-bye. Push both buttons.